have liftoff.
5 is right out.
Right out where? Right out there?
Okay, sounds like I'm on both sides. I just listened.
Yay! Joe's on both sides. It's
I'm
like
on
he's
both
a.
sides of the coin. Oh my gosh.
Does that mean you're a single duel?
That means
Ooh.
ooh,
Uh,
maybe.
well.
Well, it's any way you want, I guess. Um, welcome. It's the Double Cup of Joe show. I'm your host, Joe.
And I'm the other host, Joe.
Yes, and we are here, and we're amazed to be here. I'm impressed to still be alive and not buried under boxes of shipments. Those of you who like, it's been crazy around here. Like it's nuts. Like, because I have a job too, and I'm also the shipping department at BSS, and I've got kids and stuff that are they like to see their dad sometimes. Um, But, it's been crazy. You guys are awesome. Like, everything that's going on in the store, we got orders coming through. Anybody who's hearing this right now, you can go to the store and you can use the coupon code Launch Party, and this is good until Wednesday. There's 20% off everything. So, yes, Launch Party, all one word.
In all
I think it's
caps.
probably all caps. So
Yes,
I'm gonna
that's
put it
all.
in the chat here, and you can just copy paste it. Free shipping in the United States, $10 shipping anywhere else in the world. Yeah, it's cool. Still sorting out purchasing. Should I get the USB or the CD? If it were me, Saul, I would get the USB. There's way more stuff on the USB. And I think I think I think just about everything that's on the CD is on the USB except for like the physical disc itself. Um because we couldn't pack a physical disc into a USB flash drive. But yeah,
And you get a sweet box.
you get a sweet box. Ah,
Box.
is it the CD? Do you want the CD? The CD is cool. Cool. It's got this little booklet thing. You know,
Ooh.
there's a secret underneath the disc. Those of you who have bought the disc, you know what's underneath the disc.
But we're not going to show any of you
I'm
because
gonna
that's
show
a
you, it's a
secret
surprise.
for people who buy the disc.
And this is the USB. One of these days, Joe's gonna have this as well. And actually, it should be right set. It should not be a mirror image.
No, that's
Um,
correct. Yeah, it's
it's
BSS.
actually correct now. And so
It
yeah, and then
reads
you
nicely.
open this up. You got this cool.
Look how beautiful it is. Admire it. Admire it as best you can.
It is so cool.
Or
It is so
get one
cool.
and admire it from very close.
This criminal idol. Gonna focus. It's not gonna.
No, it hates that side of the USB.
Does not like it. And here's both
Gummy!
sides. You guys probably already know about all this stuff, but you know what? There might be some lurkers that don't know about this. We got all this great stuff, and I've been busy shipping it out to all you guys. I'm going to be going to the post office tomorrow, and
Yeah.
with a carload of like 50 boxes. I think I'm gonna have to call them and be like, so I got like 50 packages. The the
Dang.
the postage is paid, but like what do I do with those? Do you got like a back door I can drop them off at, or do I have to like carry all these up to your counter?
It's like the Grinch who stole Christmas. You've got a sleigh just stacked 40 feet high.
I
I
know,
want to
it's gonna
ship
be
these,
great.
please.
Yep. So it's been great. I love you guys. Um, oh, thank you for the props on the logo, Queen. Yeah, that's cool. This show, Double Cup of Joe show, we basically Joe and I, so there's two Joes, that's why it's Double Cup of Joe. Um, I know it's weird, but we go through topics like this week. We are going to talk about determination. We wanted to use this as a time to hang out with you guys. We're going to talk about just different aspects of life. And today we're talking about determination. And we just really wanted to find a way where we can talk to you guys and uplift you in any way we possibly can. Maybe, teach a few things that took us a long time to learn. Well, at least me. Joe's still a young kid, and he learned all this stuff when he was like, I don't know, what were you, like 11? And
No.
you knew all this stuff
That's a good one. No, I don't think so. Yeah, we do need other
now.
Joes.
So but yeah, so but that's what this show's about. And it's really just to kind of have fun, hang out with you guys and talk about some good stuff and hopefully impart something that's useful to all you guys. So, but this week is about determination. And last week, what was last week?
Last week, Joe. That was
Last
the
week
easy
you were
one.
the host, and so
That's
you should remember
commitment.
this stuff.
Yeah, I was
Eh,
commitment because we committed to these topics.
Oh yeah, that's right. So, commitment. If you're going to live out your commitment, we were talking about commitment, you need determination, because there are going to become times when your commitment will be tested and your resolve will be tested in your commitment, and it will require some determination. And so that is why the next logical step in the topic list was determination. So anyway, but before we get into that, we are going to do our three-step routine. And I was thinking about this. We were doing this three-step routine as a daily show.
Hmm.
But I was wondering how it might work to kind of do the three-step routine uh and kind of set it up for the week. So like, okay, but what do you so let's just jump into it. We'll do an example and then we'll see how it works. If it flops, well, it wouldn't be the first time I did something that flopped.
Me either. Let's do it.
So here we go. And away we go. So step number one. What are you thankful for? And Joe's gonna give us an example. Saula already gave us an example. Thankful for good health. Joe, what are
Perfect.
you thankful for
Joe,
on this
today
fine Monday?
it's Monday. Yeah.
And I'm gonna interrupt every time you open your mouth and say something.
Okay.
Yeah,
This is working out great.
I'm gonna start talking too
All right, that sounds
every
awesome.
time.
We will jointly answer this question. Thankfulness is great, and one of the things I'm thankful for today is my family, or not my family, my close family friends that I have. And right now they're actually kind of staying with us as well. So
Oh wow,
we got a full house now,
there's
but
lots of people there.
there's lots of people here. But yeah, I'm really thankful for some close family friends. They've lived just down the road from us for literally since I was born. I'm best friends with their son, so our families get together all the time. It's a blast. We're crazy. We're loud, and we have a fun time together. So I'm really thankful for them, even when they're invading our house. So
Nice.
yeah,
And sometimes it can be even more fun when they're invading your house,
yes, sometimes,
and it can require determination.
yes. It can require determination, no doubt. Especially when you're so like the two of them that are here now are youngins. They're much younger than me.
Mhm.
Yes. So yeah, they have a lot more energy than me. I don't. I should ascribe to Joe A's workout program, but I don't. And so
I'm not in a workout program right now. I'm
yeah.
currently designing one though.
Ooh,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
So yeah,
That's what you're thankful for?
that's
You're
what I'm
thankful
thankful
for
for.
Nice. So that's step number one. What are you thankful for? Step number two, I see Queer's like, so it's kind of like a Thanksgiving kind of thing. And yeah, if you've ever had a Thanksgiving dinner where you've gone around the table and talked about what you're thankful for, you don't have to reserve that to just one day per year. It's a good thing to do every day,
Hmm.
and especially on a Monday, because Mondays can require determination
Yes.
as well.
Yes, we
Um,
have determined that over our
Yes, we
years.
have. So yes. And Saola, you have spelled it out great. Step number 2, what are you looking forward to? I see you've already answered that. Joe, what are you looking forward to this week?
Yes. Well, this week, It's going to take a lot of determination because I am looking forward to going back to my house that we're selling to do some light upkeep since it hasn't sold yet, and to take a stock and appraisal of some things I didn't get to before I left. So
Mm.
sometimes things don't happen super quickly, so you just have to kind of be patient, stay determined that hey, this is going to work out and this is the way we should go. So that's what I'm looking forward to today, is just going up this week and getting some things resolved.
Nice. Houses are projects. It's almost like one after the other.
He's not wrong.
It's selling a house is a project in and of itself, and now you're stacking projects upon that project.
Yes.
You're like the project king right now, man.
I know, there's too many. Make it
Dang.
stop.
Queen is thankful for the Discord server. I've been bored out of my mind with no one to talk to. Wow. Well, hopefully you can get a hold of somebody on the server. It's nice to have you here. Hopefully you enjoy your time with us. We certainly will. And Jeff is back. Welcome back, Jeff. I made my first personal delivery from the shipping department today.
Nice.
Yep. And we socially distanced it too. I went I was driving through Jeff's town today when I was doing my inspections route. So I was like, "Oh, he wanted some stuff." And so I just threw it in my car and I was like, "Well, rather than pay for shipping, I'm going to be driving right by his house. So I'll just like chuck it at his house." So I did.
Nice.
I, I didn't actually chuck it at his house. But yes, it had been forever. We used to see each other like every week, every like Tuesday, we'd see each other. And, that's just been like always on screens, So it was cool to hand him his box of stuff. But yeah. So all right, with that, am I still writing box on the boxes? You bet I am. I told you. That's a character in the Criminal Idol series, the box.
The most
So,
important character.
yep, with every order, whatever you decide you want. If you decide you want a CD or a USB with that order, free box. And it will have box written on it because that's a character.
Mm-hmm.
And if we ever change that, I'll let you know. But right now we're rolling with it and it's fun. So but cool. Queen is not technically looking forward to anything, but trying to properly learn about mythology. Always excited to learn more about that. Ooh, we talk about mythology on Friday.
We could.
Uh, uh, that would be cool. I like that. So, all right, but that brings us to step number 3. What are you going to do to move your life forward this week? Joe, what are you doing this week to move your life forward?
Yeah. So again, like these are 3 questions that kind of move in that same realm. So, Viking, obviously, if you're like, hey, I want to learn more about mythology, this would be a great way to say, hey, today I'm gonna go to the library and get a book, or whatever it is, to learn more about mythology. For me today, I'm gonna be doing, uh, as Joe discussed, I have a number of projects on my plate. I will continue to work on those projects as I have been. I will sit down and do additional writing. I think I need to take some time to learn about scene development, because that is a little bit out of my ballpark as an accountant. I don't in accounting school they never taught us how to create a scene. Um, in fact, they highly advise us against creating a scene. You should just go the way that things are supposed to go. But so
I'd
anyway,
introduce you to one of my kids. He knows how to create a scene.
gotcha. So anyway, that's what I'm gonna do today. Is I'm gonna write some more, and hopefully I'm gonna create a scene.
Nice. All right. Well, cool. Queen has been exercising more recently and trying to eat more good stuff. That's awesome. Man, you ah, like we're kindred spirits. I try to do the same thing. I just got I just got through a workout program, like a 60-day challenge type thing, and so I'm taking a week, and resting where I kick it back into gear again. But yeah, that's awesome. I'm impressed. Anytime anybody starts exercising, starts trying to improve themselves physically, I've learned that that keeps me on track more than anything, as long as I have some kind of a regular exercise discipline, some kind of a fitness discipline. Pizza is the bane of any diet.
It is.
Truth be told, because it's so good and it's also not.
Yeah, that's an understatement.
But yeah, so that's the three-step process. You should do that every day. What are you thankful for? What are you looking forward to? What are you going to do today to move your life forward? And you don't have to stop at one thing. You can be thankful for 3 things, 4 things. You can be thankful for as many things as you want. You can be looking forward to as many things as you want. And then the interesting thing is the more you do this, you start finding yourself getting pretty excited. Your life starts to turn around and you're kind of like, wow, I might have been down in the dumps 5 minutes ago, but now I actually feel pretty good about things. This is pretty sweet. So, but then it all wraps up with the action step. What are you going to do? Because that sets everything into motion. Until then, it's just imagined. But then when you put it into action, it becomes real. And that's what we want to be real with you guys, and we want to keep it real. And so this is going to be real good. We're going to talk about determination. I'm
For real.
determined to make this real good for you. So, for me to make this real good, I'm turning it over to Joe.
Oh my goodness. You would do that, Joe.
He's gonna love it.
Indeed, indeed. I agree, Wave. Pizza is like the most major food group there is. I completely agree. But she's being a pain. Anyway, I have a dog, and she doesn't like to listen, but she's like, I know that you're doing something. That's not gonna let you, come over here and yell at me. So I'm gonna do it right now. uh, uh,
Your dog is smart.
yes, too smart for her own good. Anyway, let's go on to our topic. So if you haven't been here before, obviously we have Joe A and Joe B. Um, the two of us kind of have done this show, and I think Saule alluded to it earlier. It's been through a few iterations since we really started broadcasting it this year,
Mhm.
and really started going after it. Um, it's been a fun ride, but it takes a little bit of determination, and not of the kind that Jeffrey was calling when he says make a determination. It takes some fortitude. We went through some. How many versions of what we were doing have we gone through now? We went through at least 4 um, ways of doing this show, and I think for each one of us out there, as we're going through life, there's different ways that you can do your life. I think that's important to know. And it's okay to like try one way and find out that it doesn't work very well and say that wasn't a good idea. I'm gonna go this way instead. That's really what determination comes down to. It's like, all right, I want to get to XYZ point. I'm going to try this way to see if it works. And if it doesn't work, it's okay to turn around and say, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and try this other way. And I think, Viking, you have a good question. I think it's somewhere we should start. It's kind of what is our definition of determination? What do we think determination really is? And for me, Jeff, I'm going to try not to read Jeff's answer because Jeff really helps us out by providing what is the actual answer.
Hmm.
One, it showcases how little Joe and I know, so that you know that you can look elsewhere. What's up,
Truly
dude?
amazing. I will open my mouth and say something, and then right then Jeff will put it in the chat how wrong I am.
Yep. He's the
He's nice
quickest.
about it.
We have our own fact checking crew. He's faster than we are. He pre fact checks us sometimes. We'll be like Joe said, we'll be in the middle of something. He's like, nah, here you go.
Nope,
Um,
you're
but
wrong.
but I suppose we could come up with what our definition of determination is. And for me, it's this idea of Joe and I, or not Joe and I, just me. We'll go personal. For me, it's going after something without ceasing. That doesn't mean not slowing down. That doesn't mean that the way that you chase after it won't change. It just means unceasingly following after something. I've talked about it on the show before in other contexts, but yeah, I had somebody who taught me how to be an accountant, but they taught themselves how to write. They relearned how to write, spending just 15 minutes a day practicing something they already knew so that they could do it better. That's what determination is. Determination isn't like I go all out for, 30 days and like get really, really good as fast as I can and then burn myself out and I don't ever want to look at whatever I'm doing again. That's not determination because you're not in it for the long haul. You're not in it to keep going to the end, to completion. And I think determination fits with a lot of our earlier categories where we talked about planning and organization and some of these other topics where, hey, I need to decide where do I actually want to go. Because determination in and of itself doesn't really get you anywhere. You could spend all of your life moving sand from one pile to another, and that really doesn't accomplish anything, and you might not be happy with the end result. But you could be determined and you could accomplish that. But what we want to talk about on this show is determination that gets you somewhere. Gets you to your end goal, gets us to our end goals. For us, some of it can be the Kickstarter. The Kickstarter was a project. It was a thing that had a completion date. And it has been a while. And Joe and Ryan, Kyle and Jeff, and everyone who worked on a part of that took time for years. It has been years building up to the completion of that.
Oh yeah, well if
Yeah,
you
yeah, I'm including. I'm backdating, including all of Criminal
okay,
Idol.
gotcha. Yeah, that has been years.
So, obviously I took some liberties. The Kickstarter itself wasn't exactly that long. I think we're just over the year from when we unveiled it.
From when, yeah, it was, yeah.
So, but on just the Kickstarter since we unveiled it has been a determining process. It's been a year. It hasn't been a short amount of time.
Mm.
And this is what happens in your life. You need to take stock of the things that I really want aren't daily, weekly, monthly projects. They're accomplished through daily, weekly, monthly projects, but they aren't those. And determination is day in and day out chasing that. Different speeds, different ways, doesn't matter as long as you're still chasing that. And that's my definition, so I'm going to turn it over to Joe A. Probably has a better and more concise definition.
I would agree wholeheartedly with your definition. I think it's great because an example of this in my life recently has been the journey that my sons and I have taken in Taekwondo. Because my sons both are black belts now. This is a process that started. This is our 5th year as a Taekwondo family. 5 years. Now they started now my kids started in the little kid that it's called the Tiny Tiger program, which is like, they take all these kids from like ages 3 and up. I think my youngest son was 4 when
Okay.
he started. And he was so cute out there, right? Both of them were, because my oldest son was, he was 7, right, when they started.
7?
Yep, he's 7 years old. My youngest son was 4. Both of them are black belts now, and I'm not.
Oh.
I'm testing for my black belt in a couple months in December. So that's coming right up. But this journey takes a lot of determination. It's very interesting. Now, it's not always you end up working hard when you're in your class, and you have to practice your stuff, or else you're not gonna do well on your tests, right? So you gotta spend some time outside of your classes to work on your stuff. But it's kind of fun, you know? And if you make it fun, determination becomes easy. But there have been times when, it's like mom and I have been more determined for our kids to have their black belts than they have been. Because they're like, "I don't wanna go today, I don't wanna go." "We're going." Yes, queen. Youngins always take to new things and challenges very well. They did, man. They loved it. And there's nothing like the day when you buy a sword for your 4-year-old. Nothing like that exists. Except for that. And now it's not a real sword, right? It's not like
Oh.
it's a practice one, but it's weighted like a sword was made of plastic, right? And, yeah, but it's weird to think about that. But at any rate, it took a long time, and they worked really, really hard for years. And we kept trying to put that in front of them, and we'd let them watch other people who were black belts that could do all these cool tricks and do really cool stuff, and you know, it would help them to see somebody farther along the road and have them see what they could look forward to in themselves, right? That's one thing I've learned is, like, if you feel your determination start to sink a little bit, or just kinda, I don't know." You start to just kinda feel yourself backing off a little bit. The thing you gotta do is remind yourself of why you're doing something. Whether it takes watching a movie that reminds you of why you got started on this thing in the first place, or if it's a track where you can see other people farther down the road like we could with taekwondo, where we could actually take them to a black belt class and let them see. I remember when they were really little, we hadn't gotten to do any combat sparring yet. Now, combat sparring, you put on all this full gear, right? And you have this stick called a bong mongi stick, and it's about, I don't know, a few feet long, and it's not hard, it's soft, right? It's got like the padding thing on there, right? But you just combat sparring is all with the bong mongi, and you're just trying to whack each other with it. And if you get hit with the stick on any part of your body, it's a point for them. You have to block it with the stick, right? So you can't block with your arm, you can't, like, check it with your leg, you gotta actually block with the stick. And so you got man, when they saw these black belts just pummeling each other with this these sticks, they're like, "Oh, that looks so cool." And so I'm like, "Yeah, just think, you're gonna get to do that one day." "Okay." And so then they so then they might wanna go to class more often, you know? And then when we got 'em the bong bongis, and then they started beating me with them, it's super fun. But, oh, yes. So Willis says, "Remember Joe's remarks about walking down the street and seeing somewhat thinking since he knows martial arts?" Yeah. I know what you're talking about there. Um, yeah. They have the plastic swords. They don't have the bamboo or wooden ones. But but the point is, look, like, if you start to feel your determination waning, you have a goal set, or maybe you're still trying to figure that out. That was why when we will revisit purpose, I'm sure, again, right, Joe, as a topic.
What purpose? Oh yeah, we're gonna. Okay, so no, we'll get back to. Um, yeah, I think in a while
Okay.
it's gonna come
All
up.
right.
So one
This
of the things you should know about the show is that we're gonna bring up topics from before. Purpose is gonna be kind of an overarching thing that we will continue to talk about. But yes, every once in a while, Joe and I might pick a week and go, hey, we're gonna go back to these overarching things because I think we need to review them.
Hmm.
So
Absolutely.
if anyone's surprised, purpose is a really big thing. In case any of you didn't know that your purpose matters here,
Mm,
it it's big. So we'll probably come back to it definitely. Sure.
yes. What you have to understand about Black Static and Swerve as a company is what we want to do is help people realize their purpose. We want to help people. We want to provide people with, even if all it is just a little bit of an encouragement and some uplifting, talk or whatever to help you along the way to get to your goal and your dream and your purpose. That that's our whole focus here. And so as we talk about these things, like purpose is one of those overarching things like Joe was saying. So may a lot of times if my determination starts to go sideways, I have to reconnect with my purpose. I have to reconnect with that goal. I have to relook at the things that I wanted to get out of my life or why in the heck am I doing this anyway? I remember, asking myself some of these questions like what why am I doing this? And I have to remind myself, okay, now in the case of a black belt in taekwondo, it's like, okay, well what practicality is there in just being able to do some cool kicks? It's not very practical. It's fun. It's fun and it looks cool, but really I had to remind myself because I started to go down this path where I was like, I'm doing all this extra work for Taekwondo. And what was the point of it? Well, the point for me doing Taekwondo was it was something that I got to do with my sons. That was the point. It was something that we got to do together and and it was a way for me to connect at another level with my kids, right? That was the whole reason that I started doing it. It wasn't for my own doing self-defense or learning how to do cool moves and stuff like that. It was because I wanted that connection with my boys. And so then when I had that in my mind, then it made making decisions on what classes I would go to and what classes I would not go to and how I would arrange my schedule for all this.
I've been home for
That
like
all started to make sense. Hi, Natalie.
Just a second.
Everybody, welcome Natalie to the show.
Are you actually recording?
Oh yeah, we're definitely
So, yeah, but that was the whole reason. And
live.
so
Okay.
as I approached all the scheduling for this, I was able to approach it from the standpoint of this is my goal, this is my purpose with this task. So I would encourage you reconnect with it as you go. Back to you, Joe. And your dog
Thanks.
left.
Yep. Well, my dog follows.
He's like, Mom's here. Run.
Yep. Sorry, I'm doing the Jeff thing. I looked up what a Shinai was for.
Oh,
Um, so generally used in kendo, Shinai are, but also used in other martial arts. So yes, they're practice swords. Anyway, yes, I have a dog. She's a pain sometimes. She doesn't like the basement. She likes to be out and up and with the people, and the people generally don't like to. She's an attention hound. That's a specific breed, the attention hound.
the attention hound.
They don't leave you alone until you give them lots of attention. So, but anyway, so yes, I have a dog. I also have a wife, Natalie, who you've all just met partially. She just got home from work, so um, yeah, it's tough sometimes to remember when who's doing what. I don't
Right?
know. I always know her schedule. She doesn't always know my schedule. That happens, and it's always fun to have her around.
Yeah, man. It's part of what makes this show interesting. If stuff happens live that, you know,
Mhm.
that's why I kind of like doing these shows live.
Yes. Yeah, it's a ton of fun, and I'm answering their questions. The questions on these swords. Joe is talking about sticks. They were for Taekwondo. They're not either of the things you guys are discussing.
Right.
And I guess Shinai can be bamboo, and I guess the Boken are a type of Shinai, which are a heavier wood. But I don't know. Anyway, practice. Practice is important because, as with any determination, you need to get good at things. Hashtag segue. But for determination, I did want to discuss because I'm back home. I'm in my childhood home where I grew up, which if any of you, half of you probably aren't even old enough to have left home yet, but even if you are, I think this will be a good story for everyone. We built the house I'm in right now when I was 5 years old. All of the trees in my yard at the time were about 4 feet tall, and I could grab with one hand. They were little saplings. I could grab all the way around with one hand. None of them are that small anymore. In fact, every one of those little saplings that were here when they were planted 22 years ago is over 30 feet tall. And I can't hug around any of them.
Oh, wow.
They're massive trees. They're just massive, massive, massive trees. And I think that is probably going to be your best definition of determination that you will ever have. Is just trees don't really have other goals. I don't know if you've ever seen a tree, get up and decide it wants to go drive a car or something, but they generally don't do anything else. They just grow. Like they grow leaves, the leaves fall off, they grow more leaves, and the tree continues to grow. They just grow. And when you're single-mindedly approaching a goal, year after year after year, day after day after day, you look back and go, holy cow, look at how far I've come. It's really tough in the day by day because I'll tell you what, when I lived here, I moved out. I've been here in a few times, but never long enough to hey, this is what's going on at the house. I moved out roughly 9 years ago. While I was here, they were already massive. They were as tall as the house before I left. So they were already big, but I never really paused to think about it. It was there every single day. I just looked at it and I was like, yeah, the tree's there. It's grown a little bit. Yeah, that's fine. But I came back this year and I'm like, dang, these trees are massive. Who put that there? It's crazy. And it's one of those things of when you're really determined on an objective, when you're determined in looking at something, you don't really get to see, oh, this is happening behind me, because you're focused on the one objective. You're focused on getting there. And so a lot of times it feels like sometimes you're not making progress. Sometimes you're not getting very far. And Joe referenced one of the things that can help you have focus, which is, where was your goal when you initially got it? For your kids, maybe it was, I just really wanted to beat my brother up with a stick. That's really why I got into this sport, Taekwondo. But the reason that you got in is really what encourages you to be determined and focus on the goal day in and day out. I'm a golf pro. I teach golf. And one of the things that, as they were teaching us how to teach, is to remind people, why did you first start doing this? Because with anyone who's gotten good at something and is still working really hard at it, but feeling kind of reserved and beaten down, you just ask them, why did you start doing this? And don't let them give you, you're right, this is terrible. Why am I even doing this? Because that's not the way you want them to think. But you want them to think back, hey, what was the original reason I started doing this? Because those people, when they think back, they'll start telling you these stories of hey, my grandma, she really loved knitting. And I like to spend time with my grandma, so that's why I did it. This is why I do it. And what happens is you bring people back to, oh, there's a really good reason why I continue to spend day in and day out doing this thing. Their mind gets to go back to those enjoyable places that the things that they're doing have brought them. And and I wanna encourage you to do that because whatever your task is, whatever you're working on, it's gonna get tough sometimes. Joe and I have talked about it on this show a lot. Is there are roadblocks that come in front of you a lot. They come up all the time. And when all you do is hit roadblocks because you don't look back and say, "Holy cow, I've come 400, miles. I've grown 300 feet because I'm a giant tree now." When you don't look back, all you've ever seen is roadblocks. You are a determined soul and you continue to look forward. All you will ever see in front of you is these roadblocks. And you're like, why is everyone blocking my way? Why is everything just trying to hold me back? It's not. You're already through so much. It's just sometimes you have to take a look back and go, oh, this is why I do these things. This is why I spend day in, day out doing these things. And sometimes when you do that look back, you're like, oh, shoot, I should have done it this way, and this would be so much better. That's what I got talking about at the beginning of, hey, maybe it's time to try a new way. But as long as you still focus on that goal, that's still determination. So keep looking back. Keep focusing on what really is important to you. And that's going to help you to be determined. Joe, what else you got?
Yes. I love that because determination, we're not talking about being determined to follow a certain course. The determination lies in the goal. Whatever course it may take to get to that goal, it should be legal, moral, and ethical to get there. We should make sure we do. That should be a good thing, right? But the point is, I'm determined to get to that result. If I have to change tactics along the way and follow a different course, if I have to change courses, if I have to take a step back and, to kind of regroup and go at it again, those are all parts of the process and it doesn't change your determination level at all. In fact, sometimes it shows more determination when you actually have to make a change in course to get to that certain goal because it shows that you're willing to try new things. It shows that it's that important to you that you're willing to learn something new or you're willing to try again or whatever it might be. So that's where the determination lies. It's in the goal. And I tell you guys are amazing. I think, we can just leave it right there. I think what you were saying, Joe, is so important. And I'm like, I don't know if I can really put much on top of that, except I just kind of reiterate what you said. you know, like, but I, it's amazing. So I want to invite you guys to subscribe to this channel, like this video if you liked it. If you didn't like it, you don't have to. If you didn't like it, you can also thumbs down it. Hey,
That lets us know. Yeah,
that
we
lets
wouldn't
us
know.
know. Absolutely. Yep. But subscribe to this channel. This channel has the Double Cup of Joe show on Mondays. Don't Worry Wednesday on Wednesdays. And now Free for All Friday on Fridays.
3 shows.
3 live streams. And this, so we're gonna, I think I'm just gonna rename, we're gonna make this the Black Static and Swerve live channel or something, BSS live. I'm gonna change the banner or do something. We're gonna give it a facelift eventually here, and it'll be cool. But so subscribe to this channel. This is where you get to hang out with us live. This is where you get to hang out with Static P. He's there like every Wednesday. It was hilarious. When we were doing the launch, we were getting ready for the launch party last Thursday on the Static P channel. Ryan and I were doing Don't Worry Wednesday, and somebody commented, it might have been you, Sola. Somebody commented that the Static P channel had 40 some people waiting for that to start. and they could be hanging out with Static P on Don't Worry Wednesday, but instead they were hanging out with his picture on a shower curtain, which was cool. But yeah. Oh yes. Nope. I am not Static P. I'm glad you find that so funny, Joe. Jeez. Nope, Static P is Ryan Seawald. He is amazing. And so you should go check out the Criminal Idol series on Spotify. Man, oh man, it sounds great. And so subscribe to this channel. Come back Wednesday for Don't Worry Wednesday. Come on Friday for Don't Fret, or for Don't Fret Friday, for Free for All Friday. When we launched the show, this is hilarious. This kind of was an outgrowth of the Double Cup of Joe show, right? We just kind of started doing this on Fridays
Yeah.
when we did our Friday show, right? And they were like, well, we decided what we do is we'll do this show once a week, and then we'll make Free for All Friday like a whole big Black Static and Swerve thing, right? Like invite everybody. And then we launched it last Friday, and Joe and I both left. Great. And honestly though, it was all your guys' fault because I was shipping stuff. I was the shipping department. And I was like boxing. I had so many orders to box up and label and everything. It was amazing. And so I was joined up on there. I had my phone, and then eventually my phone just died, and so I was gone. Joe left before me, but then the guys were thinking it was hilarious. They're like, "You guys started this whole thing, and then you left on the first one." Like, yep, we did.
Yeah, but we will be there this Friday.
Yes.
There's obviously some mitigating factors. Joe is the shipping department, so everyone else wasn't shipping things at 8 o'clock at night.
Mhm.
And if you hadn't figured it out yet, this is my bedroom, and so I can't stream as late as I used to. So, but it's so much fun. The free for all Fridays are really cool. I'm really hoping that we get to Solei's topic for free for all Friday here soon. We haven't forgotten. It is semantics, which is just the meaning of words. It's super fun. I really want to. One, I just think it would be super funny to see Ryan and Kyle debate semantics in front of us because that would be awesome.
Yes.
But two, I think it would just be great to go over with you guys. I think just having everyone be a part of this, where you can hang out, discuss these topics with us, and just get to know more about what's going on behind the scenes. I think that'll be really cool because we have some really fun stuff coming up. I know Static P's got some great things coming up, so that's great. And Viking, don't worry about derailing us. We're so easily derailed. It's not you.
If you weren't here, we would derail ourselves.
Yes.
I promise.
In fact, I think you've kept us more on topic than we usually are.
Absolutely. Yes, that'd be awesome. So,
yeah.
Before we go to the store, the BSS store.
The store.
We got books. We got plushies. We got CDs. We got USBs and cool boxes. Everything comes in a box. Not everything comes in a cool wood box like the USB, but it all comes in a cardboard box, and it will have the word box written on it. It will be named box. And yes, this week until Wednesday, the end of the month, Wednesday at midnight, you put the code launch party in at checkout. You'll get 20% off your order, free shipping in the United States. We plan on keeping that forever. Free shipping in the United States and $10 shipping everywhere else in the world. Guys, as the shipping department, and I see how much it costs to ship stuff around the world, that's a steal.
You're stealing from us.
Hawaii, that's a good question. How about Hawaii?
Isn't that
That's part of the United States.
I think that's still domestic. I think you're still fine because I don't think you get into weird taxes. The hardest part about international shipping is weird shipping taxes.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, nope. We decided to do that. We decided, hey, and we worked out all of our pricing to make sure that we could do that and not like kill ourselves. Because if we were bleeding financially, then it would be bad. So Kyle made sure everything was in line and everything was good, and we just wanted to make it a good offer for all of you. So, and that was what was most important. We wanted to make sure we could get you guys your stuff and get it as quickly and as best way we possibly could. So, unfortunately, you get me as the shipping department, and I am still learning the ropes. But like I said, tomorrow is my big post office run day with a whole bunch of packages for all of you guys. So I love it though. It's so much fun to be doing this and knowing that you guys are getting some cool stuff. So anyway, go to the store, do that. Come back on Wednesday for Don't Worry Wednesday. Come back on Friday for Free for All Friday, and then come back next week. What are we talking about next week?
Next week is, of course, our favorite topic.
Oh, yes, our favorite. That one.
My favorite topic. Let me rephrase that.
Oh.
It's laziness.
Oh. Laziness.
So, yes, we are coming back around from obviously determination, which is very much the opposite of laziness. And next week I get to yell at myself. Next Monday, I get to yell at myself for all the lazy I'm being. So, or we'll just talk about it. One of those two things. But you should be
lazy.
Here,
there is productive laziness.
I'm gonna learn from Joe. I'm gonna learn from Joe tomorrow. Next time.
Yes, but there is productive laziness. We will get into that. Come back on Monday and we'll talk about it. It'll be good. So, in the meantime, you guys have a wonderful, wonderful week, and we will see you next time on the BSS Live channel. Take care, guys.
Bye, guys.